EQ Next team does. If we had the resources of Sony, we would certainly do that. But we really, as you guys know, we're a small team, and doing anything meaningful in terms of video updates is something that will take up Jen's time or more of my time and other people's time, which we really just want to focus on making the game and not making videos. I have nothing against them, of course. We did that back at Mythic, but you've seen the team size and you know how we're going to, what we're shooting for. So being able to do big weekly video updates, not going to happen. And nor will there be a stretch goal for it, just so you know. We're not, while I know it could be good marketing, certainly at this point it's not what we want. Smackish, really, you just have fun with your friend and not worry about leveling up, win or lose. Well, that's part of it. We want you to be able to go out there and just have fun, without worrying about, hey, if I do this and this and this, I'll get X points. We want you to be able to say, hey, the guys over there just called for help. They're under attack, from another realm, and you're going to go do it. And you're not going to do it because you could get X amount of points necessarily from doing some keep trading. You're doing it because it helps your realm, and you guys will be rewarded from your king. From CSC Andrew, in other words, anytime I'm hanging out on Twitch saying something, I'm not writing code. Yep, as Andrew says, that's exactly it. We're not in the, we're not trying to market the game in the way that we did certainly back in the Warhammer days, or that the Sony folks, can do, or other guys can do who are, backed by, war chests VCs, or, the kind of money that, Chris Roberts has. We are only trying to make a game, and anything that really takes, anything that takes away from that is really not something we really want to do. Akineth, don't you think that if you hide the rewards, you take some of the control and fun away? Well, again, please, guys, keep in mind that I've said that the whole bit about swinging your sword and makes your strength go up, or using runes makes your ability better, that's unchanged by this. It's absolutely unchanged. But one of the things you guys have asked us for when it was in the presentation is, well, what kind of rewards do I get for killing people? How do I get their stuff? Or how do I just get stuff? How do I make money? I'm a combatant. How do I make money? Well, this is one way you make money. This is one way you get the stuff. This is one way you get materials, potentially to trade as well with the crafters. This is not focused on, how many times I have to swing a sword. That's not what this progression system is about. Pseudocrat, how will the rate of progression for your personal character differ if you are on a losing faction versus a winning faction? Are you aiming for them to be a similar rate? No, because if it's a similar rate for being on the loser, people are going to go, I want to be on the winner. If I'm only going to get 5 gold ingots a night from being on the loser, but I have to really, maybe work even harder for it, or even work the same, then maybe I'll just go to the easier side because I know I'm going to win. No, we want it, if you're on the side that's a bit of a disadvantage, we want the rate to be a bit easier on you. Dragnog, will there be element of risk and rewards? Well, we certainly hope so. Tamanis, MJ, you made over 4K in pledges since your presentation. Pretty good for headache-driven ramblings. Well, thank you very much. Maybe we need a stretch goal. Give Mark a really big headache if you raise, a certain amount of money, and we'll let one of the guys hit me over the head with a mace there. Though I'm sure there are some people who will hear this presentation who might say, yeah, why don't we just do that for free? My stick gack will crafting material gathering need to wait until the end of the day? No. You're going to be mining and you're going to be getting material as you mine. But again, keep in mind, not like in the hey, you go out in most MMOs, you find a node, you think, and you get plenty of material. Cortino, so if I'm very bad and die a lot without killing anyone, I'll never XP? No, 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 1,000 times no. Again, guys, think of this as two different parts of the same system. So, Cortino, you're going out and you're fighting. You're using your sword. You're using your mace. You're using a Lucapan, you know? That is going to allow you to progress. Now, when you die, and you spent the whole night dying, you're still fighting. So the king will look at your activity and go, "Yep, thanks for trying." It is not. This is the exact opposite of a pure reward-driven system based on success. Okay, it's not that. That would be bad. I agree with you 100%. That would be awful. That's not what this is about. Do you think this game, Bloodwine, do you think this game will develop a competitive player base? If so, how will those players' motivation be kept in terms of rewards? Man, I think this is going to develop one of the most competitive player bases of any RVR game, simply because you're going to be burning people's stuff down. You're going to be stealing, from their homes. You're going to be destroying their buildings. I think that tends to make things kind of competitive. Travi, did he just confirm the ability to pick up a midget character and beat others with them? I certainly did say at one point that, a pretty big giant could probably pick up a pretty big Lucapan. OMCU, don't lose sleep over the criticism. Change is always hard, but I think throughout history, changing common approach has led to real progress. Oh, look, I appreciate that so much. But I know I'm going to get criticism. I know all the ideas we put forward had the potential for criticism, and this is probably the one that's going to get the most criticism because you're right. Change is hard. Change is different. This is something very risky. And it doesn't bother me. Look, I don't like being called stupid, and not that you guys have called me stupid here. Well, actually, there were a couple stupid ideas. No one likes that. I've been making games for a very long time. I've had some tremendous success with the teams, I've worked with. So I'm used to it. But I am not so thin-skinned, nor so insecure that simple criticism is going to upset me. Look, as part of our forums, that I want to hear people's ideas. I'm willing to take criticism. And as this Q&A shows, again, the only reason I shut down, comments first is so to get you guys off the server stuff so you could focus on what's truly important. I'm sitting here taking criticism, and I'll sit here taking criticism for the next whatever, as long as I'm making games. But I truly do appreciate the kind words. Jor, come on, you know that I'm not planning this game to have huge subscriber numbers. I know it won't. This is not going to get anywhere close to WoW, nor do I want it to, frankly. It would have to be a different game. And this is a game I want to make. This is a game we want to make. PK, is the Foundation almost far enough along that some of these game features will be in for testing within 3 or 4 months? Not the progression system. Magic system, combat system, absolutely. Isgro Prust, will there be any realm abilities? However, a realm point system would be great just for titles. Understood. Don't disagree with you at all. Grimslag, Camelot Guild, who want to reunite in game and discuss. Sorry, who would like to reunite and meet somewhere. Look, I love fan get-togethers. Certainly, we had them at Mythic. Uh, Always possible, and I mean that. I don't. I'm not tossing out the always possible and sort of teasing speak. Uh, that's not the intent at all. Keep asking me for. Well, actually, that's probably a delay. Never mind. Sorry. Say what? Do you think the game is going to be too easy? Wow. No, I don't think so. I've gotten already a lot of people saying the game sounds too hard. Maybe this is just like when I worked in mediation in law school. That if both sides are unhappy, you know that you made a good deal for them. So we've got people saying that it's too hard, others saying it's too easy. All right, this is one. Even though it doesn't have to do with this presentation, it's a nice one for the team. MJ at 2K. You mentioned the studio. Can you tell us how the team you have now compares to the team you had where you had when you were in the early stages of creating Dark Age of Camelot? So the team shares some similarities. Small team, very driven to succeed. The Camelot guys or the old Mythic guys, were wonderful. They all worked very, very hard to make all of our dreams, for that game come true. And it's very similar here. We've got a mix of new, programmers, new, artists who, when they started, were new as well to game development. We've got some veterans here. We've got some old guys, here. So in that way, they're very similar. Talent level, these guys are a really talented team. The team that made Dark Age as well was a talented team. I think one of the immediate differences is how many programmers we have right now. Look, we're still almost 18 months out from 16 months out, excuse me, from scheduled launch. And we have more programmers here than we had at a similar time back at Old Mythic. So I think that's a bit of an advantage, certainly. Will there be from Cyandor? Will there be an end of leveling? No, we've talked about soft caps. Jared Kincaid, will we always be set against the same Arthurians, Vikings, TDD opponents? Well, you're not really set against them by us. So who's ever on the server? We're not going to a mega server. We've talked about that in the past. We want larger servers than we had back in the Dark Age or even the Warhammer days, but we're not looking for a mega server. We want people to identify with their own realm and to identify with the other realms in terms of who they can kill. We want you to get to know the people you are going to be fighting. EC Sancho, what are your plans on hiring more people? We'd love a couple more programmers still to come in here. Then we'll be looking at probably contracting out for some additional artwork, maybe bring one or two more in, but mostly still on the programming side. This game isn't art intensive in the way that certainly Warhammer was, and not even the same way that Dark Age was, because we don't have the whole PvE part of the game. Is our art team going to be overwhelmed if we don't get some help? Yeah, and we do need to get some help. But it won't be as bad, or the stress on them won't be as bad as with Dark Age, because again, not a lot of PvE stuff to do. Nanolog, thanks. When this game ends up a huge success, what are the future plans, expansions?